Every story about a savior begins somewhere humble, but Ichigo's begins on a day when childhood innocence shattered like glass beneath a rushing river. The tragedy that shaped him, the death of his mother, isn't just a memory tucked in the corner of his mind. It's a wound that never fully healed, a whisper that returns every time he passes the riverbank where she died. What Ichigo never understood was simple, that her death was not an accident. And that single truth would become the spark that set the universe of Bleach ablaze. Tonight, however, Ichigo isn't thinking about destiny. He's thinking about flowers. He kneels beside a small roadside shrine dedicated to a girl who recently died, another wandering spirit he tried to help. Ichigo's voice is gruff, annoyed even, but the annoyance hides something soft, something he never admits aloud. He doesn't like seeing anyone left behind. And that's when he senses it, a ripple in the fabric of the night. Like the world itself taking a sharp breath. A presence. Dark, hungry, monstrous. A hollow. But before we see the hollow, the screen cuts, sharply, suddenly, to the old Kurosaki household. A bustling home of noise and chaos. His sisters Karen and Yuzu running around. His father Ishin being, well, Ishin, a dramatic, loud, affectionate hurricane of a man whose love hides beneath comedic theatrics. Yet even in this warmth, Ichigo stands out. He's separate. Haunted. Restless. Because while his family sees the world normally, Ichigo sees something else, the dead. The wandering. The lost. That gift, or curse, is what leads to the night that will forever divide his life into two eras, before Rukia. And after. It begins with a sudden crash, a silent quake that only Ichigo feels. He jumps from bed, the air around him turning heavy, almost suffocating. Something is approaching his home. Something wrong. Something hungry. And then, like a shadow tearing through reality, a creature roars outside. Massive. Masked. Grotesque. A hollow. It reaches for his sisters. Ichigo doesn't hesitate. He never does. He charges, heart pounding, fear swallowed by instinct, the instinct to protect. But the gap between human and monster is too vast, until time itself seems to stop, and a girl steps forward from the darkness of his room. Rukia Kuchiki. A soul reaper. A soldier of the afterlife. A warrior of centuries. She binds him with a spell, bewildered at his spiritual strength. No ordinary human should have seen her. No human should have sensed her. But Ichigo shatters her spell with sheer will, shocking her. She barely has time to process it before the hollow strikes again. Rukia leaps into battle, elegant, precise, centuries of discipline flowing through each movement. Her blade flashes in moonlight. Her presence is a calm storm, a force that turns fear into silence. But even she is thrown back. This hollow is drawn to something. Something in the Kurosaki family. Something connected to the past Ichigo never understood. Rukia collapses, wounded. And then, in the moment that defines their fate, she turns to the stubborn human boy and makes a choice soul reapers never make. She offers him her power. Not fully. Just enough to save his family. But Ichigo doesn't do half measures. He steps forward. He grips her blade. And instead of accepting some of her power, he takes nearly all of it. A burst of white light floods the scene. Air shatters outward like a shockwave. Even the hollow pauses, as if witnessing the birth of something impossible. And there, standing where a powerless boy once stood, is Ichigo, blade in hand, spirit energy roaring like a wildfire. Not a soul reaper. Not yet. But something the world has never seen before, a substitute soul reaper with power he was never meant to have. He defeats the Hollow in a single, overwhelming strike, a blow so powerful it leaves Rukia staring in disbelief. To her, Ichigo is not an accident. Not a coincidence. He is a paradox. A human with the potential to change the balance between worlds. And he will. Rukia awakens the next morning in a bizarre situation, trapped in a temporary Jigai, a fake human body, and completely powerless. This means Ichigo, the human boy who never asked for any of this, must now take on the responsibilities of a soul reaper in her place. And he hates it. At first, Rukia drags him into battles, lectures him on duties, forces him to perform soul burials for wandering spirits. The dynamic between them becomes electric, a mix of comedy, irritation, and something deeper neither wants to name yet. But each task reveals something about Ichigo. He doesn't fight for glory. He doesn't fight for rules. He fights because people need him. And in every street corner haunted by lost spirits, in every battle against hollows lurking at the edges of Karakura town, we see the truth of Ichigo's heart. He fights because he knows what loss feels like. He fights because he can't stand seeing others suffer the same loneliness. He fights because, deep down, protecting others is the only thing that ever felt like right in his life. But shadows are gathering. Because Ichigo's power, that impossible surge on the night he took Rukia's blade, did not go unnoticed. Something ancient stirred the moment he awoke his soul reaper form. Something watching. Waiting. The balance between worlds has shifted. And the first ripple of that shift appears in the form of a strange new hollow. A hollow shaped like a memory. A hollow shaped like guilt. A hollow connected to his mother. But that confrontation, that painful unraveling, belongs to another chapter. For now, part 1 closes on a striking final image, Ichigo standing on a rooftop at dusk, sword resting on his shoulder, eyes scanning the horizon, a guardian he never meant to become, a warrior shaped by tragedy, a boy unaware that he has just taken his first step into a centuries-old war between realms. The camera glides above Karakura town, rows of houses asleep in moonlight, empty sidewalks glowing faintly under street lamps, and wind brushing past telephone wires like fingers plucking strings of an invisible harp. Then, a scream. Not human. A cry warped by hunger and torment. Something is hunting. Something wearing the mask of a monster, but shaped by a soul that once belonged to a person. A hollow. The scene cuts to Ichigo sprinting across rooftops, each step pounding with a mixture of adrenaline and frustration. He has been a soul reaper for only a handful of days, and already he is drowning in responsibility he never trained for. Every night is a battle. Every morning, exhaustion. Every moment, a reminder of the war only he and Rukia can see. Rukia appears beside him, still powerless, still trapped in her Jigai, still lecturing him like a strict mentor who refuses to acknowledge she has become a reluctant roommate. Her voice is sharp, but her expression hides concern. You sensed it, didn't you? Her eyes narrow. A strong hollow. And close. Ichigo nods. But Rukia doesn't know the real reason his expression has turned grim. This hollow's spiritual pressure feels familiar. Painfully familiar. Like a scar he carries in silence. The boy who fears nothing is suddenly afraid. Because this is the same pressure he felt the day his mother died. Ichigo slows down, a rare moment where even he hesitates. His breath fogs in the cold night. His vision flickers with memories he tries to forget. The gentle warmth of his mother. Her smile. Her scent. Her embrace. And then, the rain. The river. The monster hidden in the storm. The thing he couldn't see. The thing that took her away. Rukia stops when she sees his trembling fist. "What is it?" she asks softly. Ichigo doesn't answer. Because the answer is a name he doesn't yet know, Grand Fisher. A hollow that preys on human emotion by mimicking the voices of loved ones. A monster responsible for countless deaths, including one that shattered his family. But even without knowing its name, Ichigo senses the truth: this hollow is connected to his past. And it is calling to him. He clenches his jaw. His grip tightens on his sword. He runs again, faster, harder, with fury instead of fear. The scene cuts to a quiet playground. The swings creak. The wind rustles through a rusted slide. An eerie whistle echoes between the metal frames. A small figure stands alone in the sand. A child. Crying. But the camera knows what Ichigo does not. This is no child. This is bait. The child turns, but its face is wrong. Too smooth. Too pale. Its smile too wide, stretching like painted porcelain. And behind it, looming in the darkness, is the true hollow, towering, grotesque, worm-like, with a massive white mask split by jagged red markings. Grand Fisher. It extends a claw. The bait child giggles, a sound that twists into something sickening. Then, a flash of orange hair. A slash of steel. A roar of defiance. Ichigo arrives, blade colliding with monster. Rukia shouts instructions. Don't let it confuse you. Don't let it, too late. The hollow shifts. Its bait changes shape. The small crying child melts into the form of a woman. A familiar woman. Ichigo's mother. Masaki Kurosaki. The world freezes. Ichigo's sword trembles mid-air. His breath catches in his throat. His greatest fear is now staring back at him, smiling with the warmth he has been starved of for years. And that hesitation is all the hollow needs. A massive claw slices downward. Ichigo barely dodges, the ground erupts in debris. Rukia screams at him, "That's not her. Focus." But how can he? Grand Fisher has weaponized Ichigo's deepest wound. This isn't a battle of strength. This is a battle of heartbreak. Ichigo falls back, breath ragged, vision blurred. Every time he tries to attack, the hollow shifts the illusion. His mother's voice echoes in the wind, soft, pained, pleading. Ichigo. Ichigo, help me. He covers his ears, but the voice cuts straight into his soul. He remembers the day she died. He remembers her shielding him. He remembers running toward the river. He remembers the rain. The scream. The blood. The guilt. The guilt that never leaves. And now that guilt stands between him and victory. Grand Fisher laughs, a chilling mix of malice and delight. You humans, so easy to break. Ichigo roars and charges blindly. A fatal mistake. The hollow's claw pierces his shoulder. Blood splashes across the sand. Ichigo falls, teeth clenched in agony. Rukia panics. She tries to run to him. She tries to fight. But without her powers, she is helpless. Ichigo. Get up. This thing killed, she stops herself. But Ichigo already knows. His eyes widen. His heart stops. This hollow might be the one who stole his mother. That realization ignites something inside him, not rage, not hate, but a burning need for truth. A need for answers. A need to protect the memory of the woman he failed. Ichigo staggers to his feet. Blood drips down his arm, but his grip on his sword tightens. His mother's illusion appears again. But this time, Ichigo doesn't stop. He swings through the illusion, destroying it. And the hollow's real form screeches in panic. For the first time, Ichigo is not the broken boy crying at a riverbank. He is the warrior shaped by that pain. He lunges, a force of raw instinct and fierce determination, and slices the hollow across its mask. A crack forms. Grand Fisher recoils in shock. You dare. Ichigo doesn't answer. He simply raises his sword for another strike. But the hollow flees, escaping into another dimension before Ichigo can finish it. The monster lives. The past remains unresolved. The wound remains open. Ichigo collapses to one knee, breathing hard. Rukia stands beside him, silent. For once, she doesn't lecture him. She doesn't scold him. She doesn't tell him he was careless. Instead, she looks at him with something new in her eyes. Respect. Fear. And sadness. Because she now understands something she hadn't before, Ichigo's strength isn't just spiritual energy. It is emotional gravity, the kind that can either forge a hero or destroy him completely. The screen transitions to a new night, a few days later. Ichigo sits on the rooftop of his house, bandaged and exhausted. He stares at the sky as if searching for something he can't name. Rukia sits beside him, legs folded, gaze thoughtful. You fought beyond your limits, she says. I didn't win, Ichigo replies quietly. Rukia shakes her head. That hollow, Grand Fisher, has survived for decades. Even Soul Reapers have failed to kill it. The fact that you wounded it means something. Ichigo doesn't respond. Because part of him wanted closure. Part of him wanted vengeance. Part of him wanted to stop feeling guilty. But the world doesn't work like that. Some hollows don't die easily. Some wounds don't heal quickly. Some truths hide until the right time reveals them. Rukia watches him for a moment. Then she says something unexpected. Your mother's death was not your fault, Ichigo. The words hit him harder than any hollow attack. He doesn't cry. He doesn't speak. But the heaviness in his eyes softens, just a little. Below them, the quiet town breathes in the moonlit dark. But the camera slowly pulls upward toward the clouds, and beyond them, a new presence watches. Something powerful. Something ancient. Something wearing a captain's uniform and glasses, reflecting moonlight with quiet malice. Sosuke Aizen. His voice echoes like a whisper from another world. The boy grows stronger. Good. We will need him when the real war begins. The screen fades to black. Part 2 ends not with closure, but with a promise. Shadows have only just begun to move in Karakura town. And the hollow threat is merely the first ripple of a far greater storm. It begins on an ordinary night. Ichigo is patrolling rooftops again, moving with the confidence of someone who has begun to understand the rhythm of the unseen world. The moon hangs above him like a blade of silver. Rukia follows close, her borrowed body still limiting her abilities, but her instincts sharper than ever. Ichigo senses a faint hollow nearby, nothing unusual. A simple hunt. A simple fight. But before he can draw his weapon, the air tears open. Not split, shredded. A booming spiritual pressure strikes like a shockwave, smashing through rooftops, rattling windows, knocking Ichigo off balance. Rukia freezes. Her face drains of color. Because she knows that pressure. Not hollow. Not beast. Not corrupted soul. Soul reapers. High-ranking ones. Captains. The kind who pass judgment. The kind who enforce ancient laws without mercy. A swirling gateway opens. Blue flames roar outward. A crack of thunder splits the night, and two figures step through. One with silver hair, eyes curved in a perpetual mocking smile. Jin Ikimaru. The fox who hides poison behind a grin. And another clad in white Haori, wearing the badge of a captain. Tall. Silent. Stern. Byakuya Kuchiki. Rukia's brother. By blood. By duty. By icy, unbreakable law. And in that moment, without a single word spoken, Rukia knows her time is over. Ichigo rushes in without hesitation, blade drawn. He doesn't understand who these two are. He doesn't care. All he sees is danger. Threat. And Rukia, standing exposed. Jin Ikimaru tilts his head with mock amusement. Well now, who's this lively human? Byakuya doesn't even glance at Ichigo. He simply steps forward, each movement elegant, effortless, the kind of grace earned only by someone who has never known defeat. Rukia, he says, voice flat as steel. You've committed a grave crime. Rukia lowers her eyes. I know. Ichigo growls. What the hell are you talking about? She didn't, he never finishes the sentence. Byakuya is suddenly behind him. A blur. A flash. A strike faster than thought. Ichigo's vision explodes in white pain. Blood spills. His knees buckle. He didn't even see the blade move. Rukia screams his name, the first time she has ever screamed in fear for him. Jin laughs softly. Awfully fragile, these humans. Ichigo forcibly rises. One knee trembling. Eyes burning. Heart refusing to bow. He grips his sword tighter. Byakuya looks at him with a calm that borders on cruel. You are not worth killing, he says simply. You are nothing. But Ichigo charges anyway. Because weakness has never stopped him before. Because protecting someone is the only thing he knows how to do. Because Rukia, the girl who saved his family, is being taken away. And because Ichigo has one thing no Soul Reaper accounts for, human stubbornness. He swings. Byakuya dodges with insulting ease. He swings again. Byakuya shatters his sword with one fingertip. And then, Senka. A flash step technique so fast it breaks the sound of air. Ichigo collapses. His chest bleeding. his spirit collapsing. Rukia begs. Byakuya, enough. He'll die. Byakuya sheaths his blade in cold disinterest. Then he should not have interfered. Jin turns, his smile widening. Well now, best of luck, human boy. And with that final insult, the two captains seize Rukia, binding her arms in spirit-blocking cuffs, and drag her toward the gateway. She looks back at Ichigo one last time. And her voice breaks. Ichigo, don't come after me. The portal snaps shut. Ichigo is left on the ground, bleeding, powerless, staring at the empty space where Rukia vanished. The scene shifts. A cloudy afternoon. Rain tapping against windows. Ichigo lying unconscious in his room, wounds wrapped in bandages. Hours pass. Maybe days. When he finally wakes, he can barely sit up. The pain isn't just physical, it's humiliation, guilt, a deep pit of helplessness that swallows him whole. Rukia is gone. Taken to a place he has never heard of. To face a punishment he doesn't understand. He failed her. Failed to protect the only person who understood the weight he carried. His father enters, cheerful as always, but even he pauses at the sight of Ichigo's injuries. A quiet heaviness settles in the room. Something unspoken. Something Isshin knows but cannot say. Ichigo's friends come too. Chad, silent but burning with worry. Oriheim, eyes shimmering with unspoken fear. Ishida, stiff, proud, pretending not to care, but caring deeply. And each of them sees the same thing, the fire in Ichigo's eyes hasn't gone out. It's become sharper. Hotter. Focused. He isn't defeated. He's preparing to rise. Training for the impossible. Enter Kasuke Urahara. The mysterious shopkeeper whose smile hides intellect sharper than any weapon. He approaches Ichigo with a simple offer. I can give you the power to reach Soul Society. If you survive. Because entering the afterlife is no small task. One cannot simply walk through a portal. You must break your own soul. Reforge your body. Rewrite your spiritual existence. And Ichigo accepts. Without hesitation. The training that follows is brutal, a descent into a pit where his soul is literally severed from his body, forcing him to reclaim his identity or die trying. Chains wrap around his chest. A clock ticks. Hollows form inside his spirit. Masks crack. Walls shatter. This is where Ichigo's true journey begins, in the darkness of his own soul. Where he first meets the being that lurks inside him, a white shadow with a twisted grin. A voice of chaos and instinct. His hollow. But Ichigo does not break. He does not yield. He rises, holding a reforged sword unlike anything a Soul Reaper should possess. Zangetsu. A massive blade. A weapon of raw power. A manifestation of his soul's refusal to bow. Urahara stares, astonished. This boy, he is unlike anyone I have ever trained. Ichigo tightens the cloth wrapping around his new blade. He is ready. The time has come. Ichigo stands at the threshold of the Senkamen, the gateway between worlds. His friends stand beside him, each prepared to risk everything. Oriheim. Chad. Ishida. And Yoruchi, in her feline form, calm and wise, guiding them. The gateway opens like a massive jaw of light. Wind roars. Spiritual pressure crackles. The path ahead is narrow, dangerous, and filled with creatures that devour lost souls. But Ichigo doesn't flinch. He steps into the swirling corridor without looking back. Because Rukia is in a place built on ancient laws and cold justice. A place where her brother's blade is the verdict. A place where she awaits execution. And Ichigo Kurosaki, the boy who saw ghosts before he saw destiny, is going to break into the afterlife to bring her home. The screen pulls back as the group disappears into the blinding light, and the portal slams shut. Silence follows. Then a single line fades in, the Soul Society arc begins. The gates of Soul Society open with blinding light, and immediately, everything goes wrong. Ichigo and his friends tumble into the Rukongai district, a sprawling afterlife slum where ancient souls wander. The ground is dusty, and the sky never changes. It is peaceful, deceptively peaceful. But far beyond these outskirts, in the heart of Siriiti, where white stone towers pierce the sky and noble banners ripple in spiritual winds, chaos is spreading. Shinigami are running. Voices are shouting. Alarm bells ring. Something terrible has just happened. A captain, one of Soul Society's highest authorities, has been murdered. And his blood stains the white wall of the barracks like a cruel stroke of crimson ink. The victim, Captain Sasuke Aizen. His body hangs suspended by a blade, pinned to the tower like a message carved into the heart of the afterlife. A message of fear. A message of betrayal. A message no one understands yet. And as the captains gather, each radiating overwhelming spiritual pressure, whispers spread like wildfire. Who would do this? How could a captain be killed? Is it rebellion? Is it war? And in the chaos, one name rises, fueled by rage, shock, and grief: Rukia Kuchiki. Her execution is accelerated. Her sentence confirmed. Because something in Soul Society has shifted. Someone has turned the world upside down. And Ichigo is now racing toward a place where suspicion poisons every shadow. Ichigo stands at the border wall of Siriiti, a towering fortress of white stone guarded by one enormous gate and one equally enormous gatekeeper, Jidanbo. The giant lifts his axe, voice booming like thunder. No one enters without permission. Ichigo looks up at the giant, smiles, and charges. The fight is brutal, fast, and comically one-sided, Ichigo's sheer determination overwhelming Jidanbo's strength. It isn't cruelty. It isn't arrogance. It's necessity. Every second wasted is another step toward Rukia's death. Ichigo wins. The giant kneels. The gate creaks open, but then another figure steps forward. A captain. Haori fluttering. Spiritual pressure suffocating. Jin Ikimaru. Smiling. Always smiling. He flicks his wrist. His blade extends like a spear of silver light. And the massive gate, thick enough to withstand cannons, is sliced in half. Like paper. Ichigo freezes. For the first time, truly understanding what a captain is. Jin tilts his head, eyes narrowed into harmless crescents. You're an interesting one, Ichigo. He sheaths his sword, satisfied with the fear he has created. Then he turns away, leaving Ichigo alive not out of mercy, but amusement. The message is clear: you don't belong here. Run away. But Ichigo doesn't run. He never does. Yoruichi leads Ichigo and the others into Siriiti through an alternate route, But the second they step inside, the entire afterlife becomes a maze of danger. Every division is on high alert. Every captain is armed. Every lieutenant is hunting intruders. Ichigo and his friends are scattered, each forced into separate battles that test their limits. Chad faces the iron-willed Captain Kairaku, a man with a lazy demeanor and terrifying power. Ishida clashes with members of the Shinigami who recognize him as a Quincy, an enemy of old wars. Oraheim evades capture with her strange, shield-like powers that baffle even Soul Reapers. But the most chaotic of all is Ichigo's collision with Zaraki Kenpachi. The sky darkens as Kenpachi approaches, a towering figure with eye patch, spiked hair, bells chiming with each step. His spiritual pressure is like a hurricane, ripping cracks into buildings. And he is smiling. No, he is thrilled. Because only one thing brings joy to Kenpachi, a strong opponent. Ichigo draws Zangetsu. The blade hums with raw spiritual force. They clash. The whole district shakes. One swing from Kenpachi can flatten buildings. One strike from Ichigo forces Kenpachi to use two hands, something he rarely does. The battle is wild, primal, cinematic, steel on steel, blood on stone, adrenaline in the air. Ichigo is pushed to the edge of death more than once. But in the moment between consciousness and collapse, he sees him, the man inside his soul. Dressed in long black coat. Solemn eyes. A voice like echoing winter. Zangetsu. Ichigo, he says, if you wish to protect, then rise. Ichigo rises. And his next strike cuts through Kenpachi's spiritual armor. Blood spills. Kenpachi laughs, not in mockery, but in joy. You're strong, Ichigo. Grow stronger, so we can fight again. He collapses, defeated but satisfied. Ichigo falls moments later, barely clinging to life. And while he lies unconscious, the truth he seeks, the reason he came here, moves one step closer to the gallows. Deep inside the Siriiti, in a quiet chamber illuminated by lantern light, Captain Aizen draws breath. He stands. Alive. Uninjured. Eyes calm behind his glasses. The corpse hanging on the barracks wall? A fake. The murder? Staged. The shock? Planned. Jin Ikamaru enters the room, playful as always. Kaname Tozen follows, blind, stoic, unwavering. Aizen speaks softly, everything is proceeding exactly as expected. Because while Soul Society hunts Ichigo, while unrest breaks across divisions, while suspicion fractures alliances, Aizen is arranging his pieces. He needs chaos. He needs confusion. He needs dissent. Because he is after something ancient, the Hogyoku. A forbidden orb. A device that can blur the line between Hollow and Soul Reaper. A power Rukia unknowingly carries, hidden within her Jagai, placed there by Kasuke Urahara years ago. Aizen's eyes glint. Rukia Kuchiki must die. Her execution is our key. And the noose tightens around her neck. Ichigo awakens in a safe house, wounds wrapped, spirit stabilized. His friends gather, relieved but exhausted. Yoruchi, now in human form, stands before him. It's time, she says. The execution is in 2 days. The Sukyoku, a massive weapon shaped like a phoenix of flame, will be used. And the moment it strikes, Rukia dies. Ichigo rises. His body trembles. His injuries burn. But his will is absolute. He begins training again. This time not to awaken a sword, but to achieve something far more difficult, Bankai. The final evolution of a Soul Reaper's weapon. A power that usually takes 10 years to master. Ichigo must learn it in 3 days. Yoruichi pushes him beyond imagination, breaking him, rebuilding him, forcing him to fight tens of thousands of illusions of Zangetsu until his soul can barely hold itself together. But Ichigo refuses to give up. And on a night filled with lightning and ferocious wind, he succeeds. He learns the name of his Bankai. He claims his true power. He becomes something Soul Society has never seen before, a human capable of surpassing captains. The sky burns with morning light. Captains assemble along the stone arena. The Sukyoku rises, a colossal halberd glowing with hellfire. Rukia stands alone, calm, resigned, accepting her fate. Then the flames expand. The phoenix of destruction screams to life. Rukia closes her eyes, and the fire stops. Because a black silhouette appears in midair. Ichigo. Black cloak snapping in the wind. Zangetsu in hand. Spiritual pressure transforming the entire atmosphere. He blocks the Sukyoku with one hand. The watching captains go silent. The world goes silent. Rukia opens her eyes. Her voice is barely a whisper. Ichigo? He glances back at her. I'm here to save you. The sky explodes. The phoenix shatters. The execution is ruined. The war begins. As chaos spreads, captains clash with intruders, allies collide, truths unravel. Ichigo duels Byakuya in a breathtaking battle of pride, honor, and family, a battle that ends not with hatred, but understanding. But all of it, every fight, every distraction, every alliance formed, collapses in a single moment. Captain Aizen walks onto the execution hill alive. Calm. Composed. Untouched. The crowd recoils. He reveals the truth: his murder was faked. His innocence was a lie. His plan was flawless. And he exposes his final betrayal. He is the one accelerating Rukia's execution. He is the one seeking the Hogyoku hidden within her soul. He is the one who orchestrated every step of the chaos. Then he reaches into Rukia's chest and removes the Hogyoku. Ichigo tries to stop him. Captains rush forward. Blades clash. But Aizen's power is overwhelming. He rises into the sky with Jin and Tozen. A portal opens. Aizen turns one last time, smiling with cold serenity. Soul Society is no longer my stage. I am moving forward, into a world you cannot reach. And he ascends toward the sky, toward Hueco Mundo, toward an army of monsters waiting to be reborn. The afterlife has lost its greatest strategist. The Hollows have gained their strongest king. The war is no longer in the shadows. It has begun. The screen opens on a quiet street washed in the amber glow of a setting sun, the kind of twilight where shadows feel longer, heavier, and more honest. A soft breeze carries the smell of rain, though the sky is dry. And there, standing alone in the middle of that orange-tinted world, is a boy with a strange mixture of anger and sadness in his eyes. Ichigo Kurosaki, the boy who could see ghosts. But this story doesn't begin with power. It begins with loss. Every story about a savior begins somewhere humble, But Ichigo's begins on a day when childhood innocence shattered like glass beneath a rushing river. The tragedy that shaped him, the death of his mother, isn't just a memory tucked in the corner of his mind. It's a wound that never fully healed, a whisper that returns every time he passes the riverbank where she died. What Ichigo never understood was simple, that her death was not an accident. And that single truth would become the spark that set the universe of Bleach ablaze. Tonight, however, Ichigo isn't thinking about destiny. He's thinking about flowers. He kneels beside a small roadside shrine dedicated to a girl who recently died, another wandering spirit he tried to help. Ichigo's voice is gruff, annoyed even, but the annoyance hides something soft, something he never admits aloud. He doesn't like seeing anyone left behind. And that's when he senses it, a ripple in the fabric of the night. Like the world itself taking a sharp breath. A presence. Dark, hungry, monstrous. A hollow. But before we see the hollow, the screen cuts, sharply, suddenly, to the old Kurosaki household. A bustling home of noise and chaos. His sisters Karen and Yuzu running around. His father Ishin being, well, Ishin, a dramatic, loud, affectionate hurricane of a man whose love hides beneath comedic theatrics. Yet even in this warmth, Ichigo stands out. He's separate. Haunted. Restless. Because while his family sees the world normally, Ichigo sees something else, the dead. The wandering. The lost. That gift, or curse, is what leads to the night that will forever divide his life into two eras, before Rukia. And after. The crash comes suddenly, a silent quake that only Ichigo feels. Something is approaching his home. Something wrong. Something hungry. And then, like a shadow tearing through reality, a creature roars outside. Massive. Masked. Grotesque. A hollow. It reaches for his sisters. Ichigo doesn't hesitate. He never does. He charges, heart pounding, fear swallowed by instinct, the instinct to protect. But the gap between human and monster is too vast, until time itself seems to stop, and a girl steps forward from the darkness of his room. Rukia Kuchiki. A soul reaper. A soldier of the afterlife. A warrior of centuries. She binds him with a spell, bewildered at his spiritual strength. No ordinary human should have seen her. No human should have sensed her. But Ichigo shatters her spell with sheer will, shocking her. She collapses, wounded. And then, in the moment that defines their fate, she turns to the stubborn human boy and makes a choice soul reapers never make. She offers him her power. Not fully. Just enough to save his family. But Ichigo doesn't do half measures. He steps forward. He grips her blade. And instead of accepting some of her power, he takes nearly all of it. A burst of white light floods the scene. Air shatters outward like a shockwave. Even the hollow pauses, as if witnessing the birth of something impossible. And there, standing where a powerless boy once stood, is Ichigo, blade in hand, spirit energy roaring like a wildfire. Not a soul reaper. Not yet. But something the world has never seen before, a substitute soul reaper with power he was never meant to have. He defeats the hollow in a single, overwhelming strike, a blow so powerful it leaves Rukia staring in disbelief. To her, Ichigo is not an accident. Not a coincidence. He is a paradox. A human with the potential to change the balance between worlds. The days after are filled with chaos and learning. Rukia, powerless in her Jigai, drags Ichigo into his first real duties as a Soul Reaper. He hates it at first. He groans. He complains. But each wandering spirit, each hollow, each burial of a lost soul reveals something deeper about Ichigo. He fights not for glory, not for rules, but because people need him. Because he knows loss. Because he cannot stand seeing others suffer. And the shadows are gathering. The first ripple of that shift appears in the form of a strange new hollow, shaped like a memory, shaped like guilt, connected to his mother. Night in Karakura town has a strange way of breathing. It is calm, yet never silent. Peaceful, yet never safe. Ichigo Kurosaki has become something he never asked to be, a guardian standing between humanity and the darkness that devours souls. The first true test comes with Grand Fissure, a hollow drawn to Ichigo's deepest wound, the death of his mother. It uses illusions to manipulate his memory, showing Masaki Kurosaki, his mother, alive and crying for help. Ichigo hesitates, falters, and suffers for it. The battle is not one of strength alone but of heartbreak and courage. He learns that to be a Soul Reaper is not just to fight monsters, it is to face your own pain. Through sheer determination, he slices through the hollow's illusions, striking at the real creature. But it escapes, leaving Ichigo shaken. Rukia, observing, finally understands the magnitude of his emotional power. Ichigo isn't just strong in spirit energy, he is strong in heart. He is human. And sometimes, that human stubbornness can rival even the most disciplined captains. The shadows of Karakura have only just begun to stir. Ichigo senses it. Hollows are evolving. Darkness is spreading. And from far beyond, a presence watches Sosuke Aizen. Calm. Calculating. Waiting for the perfect moment to ignite war. Rukia has been taken to Soul Society, breaking centuries-old law. Ichigo must cross the Senkamen, the gateway to the afterlife, and rescue her. As Ichigo arrives, he confronts the overwhelming spiritual pressure of high-ranking captains, Jin Ikamaru, smiling and deceptive, and Byakuya Kuchiki, cold and precise. Ichigo attacks with human determination, but is outmatched. Byakuya's blade moves faster than thought, shattering Ichigo's sword and leaving him bloodied on the ground. Yet even in defeat, Ichigo's resolve is absolute. Training under Kasuke Urahara, Ichigo pushes beyond human limits. He learns to separate and control his soul, faces the hollow lurking inside him, and ultimately awakens his full power with Zangetsu. The gates to Soul Society open, and Ichigo, along with his friends Yoruchi, Chad, Orihime, and Ishida, steps into the unknown. Their path is dangerous, but Ichigo's focus is unwavering. Rukia must be saved. Part 4, Betrayal in Black, Aizen's grand design and the war of wills inside Siriitii, chaos erupts. A captain is murdered, or so it seems. Suspicion, fear, and betrayal ripple through the ranks. Ichigo and his friends face impossible battles, Chad against Kairaku, Ishida against those who see Quincy's as enemies, Orihime evading capture, and Ichigo dueling Kenpachi Zaraki, the living embodiment of battle thrill. The fights push Ichigo to his limits. Every strike tests skill, courage, and instinct. Through it all, Zangetsu guides him, strengthening his resolve. Ichigo finally achieves Bankai, unleashing power that surpasses even captains, ready to face the execution platform. At the execution, Ichigo blocks the Sukyoku, the massive weapon of death, with one hand. The world holds its breath. Rukia's eyes widen in disbelief. And just as victory seems near, Aizen reveals the ultimate betrayal. He faked his own death, orchestrated the chaos, and steals the Hogyoku from Rukia. The war leaves Soul Society fractured, and the true battle is only beginning. The war escalates into Hueco Mundo, where Arrancar armies rise under Aizen's command. Ichigo faces enemies who test not just strength but the limits of his spirit. Allies fall and rise. Battles are fought with stakes so high that even the faintest mistake can mean death. Ichigo's power evolves further, embracing the hollow within him without losing his humanity. Allies like Chad, Oraheim, and Ishida support him, each facing personal trials that test their courage and loyalty. Through strategy, determination, and trust, the group confronts Aizen and his lieutenants in an epic clash of wills and spiritual might. In the final confrontation, Ichigo's resolve is absolute. He strikes decisively, balancing human will with hollow ferocity. Aizen is defeated, Hueco Mundo collapses, and the realms begin to restore equilibrium. The cost is high, many are changed, wounded, or scarred forever. But the balance between worlds is preserved. Ichigo stands once more on the rooftops of Karakura town, sword at his side, breathing in the calm of a world he fought to protect. Shadows remain, dangers linger, but the boy who became a substitute Soul Reaper has proven one truth: humanity's spirit can shape destiny, even against the gods of death themselves. The screen fades to black. The wind whispers. And the story of Ichigo Kurosaki, Soul Reapers, and Hollow Wars leaves a lasting echo of courage, loss, and unyielding resolve.